Well, let's pull a little volume up there and let's get rolling for a Wednesday. Been a weird Wednesday because I'm sitting here in the office and there's professional football on. How crazy is that? Here we go. Let's roll the open in three, two, one. Hello and welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday to you. I assume we're on. I guess we're on. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff today, and while I'm here, I might as well just go over and just see if we're even on. That'd probably be a good idea. And if I hear myself an echo here in a moment, then I'll know that we're on. That I know that we got a little audio. Yeah, it sounds like I got a little audio going there, doesn't it? Let me bring this down here. As I'm kind of just I got these ridiculous notifications that they bug you too, the ones that everybody gets. Let's see here. Hold on. Yep, there we go. I just heard myself. So good. So good. I'm all good. I'm all live, and I'm gonna actually pull this up here so I can kind of see who checks in with us, but I'm going to mute it so I don't have any issues there. There we go. Okay. All right. Glad you guys are along. Adjust the camera there. This. I had to take everything up to school today, and I did a live show at right about 1 o'clock Central Time. So I didn't take all my gear, but I took some and some kind of my normal adjustments, which are pretty much walk in here and don't do a lot of adjusting. But when I do take it on the road, sometimes I got to make some adjustments to the laptops. Anyway, all good. You guys don't care about that. What you do care about is what's going on around us. And let's go ahead and welcome our first guest as always. Every time it's Mom joining us from Indiana. Here we go, Mom. Yeah, we got you. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, the music was playing. I don't think you hear the music, but I do.
No, I don't. I didn't hear it.
It's all good. So
I missed the music.
That's all right. No, it's okay. It's all good. What is going on with you today? Are you watching the NFL on a Wednesday?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was on so friggin' early. I went. I was out of the house at 8:15 to get my hair done. It had been canceled because of COVID a couple of times, and so I had to be there at 8:30, which is early for me. And then Claudette and I went to the casino, and I came home with $1,100.
How about that?
Yeah, so I only spent $200, so I'm $900 ahead.
How about
making money. I'm making money as I sit here. So we got back about five-ish, and so yeah, I've been munching and realized I thought the game was tonight, but
it was going to be yesterday. It would have been tonight, but or last night, but I guess they had to get it over with as fast as possible. So the earliest they could do it would be it'd be 2 o'clock. I'm sorry, 4 o'clock Eastern, because it was 3 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. It was 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock here, I believe, around that time when it started. We're now just after 5 Central, so that'd be about right.
I was shocked when I checked my emails when I got back. I get notifications from NFL, because I watch it so much, and it said that you can live stream it, and I thought, is it already on? So I came in here and turned it on, and sure enough, it was on. It's in the third quarter.
It's fourth quarter now, but yeah, I believe it. I think it started 2:30 Central. 3:30 your time, 3:30 your time, but that would seem, because it's 6 o'clock now, though. That's 2.5 hours later, I guess. That's about right.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah,
I guess that's about right. Yeah, So anyway, but and then next week the Ravens and Cowboys play on Tuesday, I believe, at 4 o'clock Texas time, which
it's 5 here. Yeah,
it's still bizarre. I mean, I'm not trying to make light of it, but I do like the double headers on Monday. I don't mind the Tuesday game, and heck, I don't mind the occasional Wednesday. There's
Yeah,
just so
doesn't
much
bother me because
there's just so much nonsense on, especially during the election season. There was so much nonsense on. This gives you something
yeah,
besides, and
yeah,
quite frankly, ESPN's contents has gotten just to the point where I mean, it's just
yeah.
such talking head nonsense. So this is nice to have something on. So anyway, how's the weather up there in Indyville up there?
It was sunny today and in the 40s, and it's supposed to be the same tomorrow. But then we're headed for some colder. I mean, some yucky weather over the weekend. I think starting Friday. So there you go.
When you say yucky, you mean like snow and
Well, it could
stuff
be.
like that?
Yeah. When we went to New Buffalo, we went. It. We had they had lake effect snow. There was snow on the ground when we got to South Bend, on the other side of South Bend. A lot of snow on the ground. Because they'd had lake effect snow a couple of days ago, and we didn't get any. We just got a little rain. But anyway, it was kind of crazy. We drove from no snow and then to in snow. So there you go.
We didn't get snow. We got our first freeze Monday slash. I think it got down to the mid 40s last night. I think that's right, but
Yeah, well,
there was frost and frozen windshields, frost on the windshields and all that in the grass
yeah.
yesterday morning, but not this morning. It was cold, but it wasn't nearly as bad. And we had some rain, spotty rain today, and I think it's actually cleared out of here for the rest of the day. So anyway, but
I was excited to get to see Maxwell play soccer. And
yeah, if you like paint drying, that's a great game. That soccer.
I
love to play the game. I love to play the game. I loved it. But
yeah.
even back in the day when I played the game, watching it was just not.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into watching soccer, even though I used to coach soccer. So there you go.
I mean, World Cup I will and all that, but yeah, and apparently, and I didn't catch this. He told me this last night, and his parents apparently TCA played JVers or something to that effect, because TCA was bad and that was kind of embarrassing. But
they had a lot of players.
Yeah, well, I think that's the deal. I think they played some varsity kids later in the second half, like midway through. Because one of the kids that came in, I recognized the name. He's a junior, and I knew him because he's the one that wrote this really cool letter to the editor of the Dallas Morning News here, thanking his teachers at his school for fighting through COVID. But and I knew he was, because they actually were announcing it. But yeah, it was cool. And Cistercian played well, and they looked good, so it's good. They're 3-0. So I think Maxie was sort of like, well, we kicked their butt, but I'd like to know what we would have done with them if they'd have played their varsity the whole time.
Why did they not play their varsity?
That I don't know. I don't know if they're just having a hard time. They may be having a hard time getting games. They have a lot of players. I mean, it's a lot larger school than Cistercian.
Yeah.
A lot larger school than Prince of Peace. I mean, they have a lot. I mean, it's a lot larger school than what it was when it was classes in the 80s and we were there. Now they're in the mid 100s. So, that may be it too. And a lot of kids like to play soccer. And I know the girls program, they're practicing out behind the stadium yesterday.
I saw that.
Yeah. And they probably had 35 or 40, maybe close to 40 young ladies out there. And they're pretty good. So anyway, but Maxwell was good. So.
Well, and they don't have any voice. All you hear is the announcer and the game on this live stream. It was so crazy. Half the time, I think the cameraman must have been asleep because, the play. Soccer moves up and down the court, field, and sometimes we'd still be in the other end, and the ball was on the other end. But it didn't happen that much. It was just great to get to see him play. And
all right, yeah, it was. It was, and he. I think he's doing well, so it was good. Good. I think I did see him. Was that stream? Was that a Cistercian deal or was that a TAPS deal?
No, it's a national thing. If you go into that address Chris sent me, I've forgotten what it said. There were team after team after team. I think it's National FHS or NFHS or something like that. He paid. I paid for it, but it's $10.99 a month. And golly, I mean, there were team, so it must be national. When I went in to check it out when Chris told me about it, it was just, I mean, there were hundreds of teams, and I didn't know. And by most of them were by city, and they were from all over. So,
Huh.
so it wasn't Cistercian. It was they're streaming. I guess taking advantage of people not
Sure.
being out.
No,
and,
it's
idea, but they.
Well, it was already a growing thing anyway before, but now this is just taking up a notch, even more so. So, it's even more so. That's good. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mom. It was fun, and it was good to see that.
Yeah, well, and he has one Friday night, I think. I understand.
And Saturday, I think Saturday is not streamed, but Friday is.
Friday is, but Saturday isn't.
And
I know they appreciate you going.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go Saturday, but I have a conference call from Australia at 6. So,
well, you can get I can give you the information that you can watch the game streaming after.
Yeah, well, I've got the information for Friday, so it's all good, Mom.
Okay, that's good. Okay, well, I'll get on the other side.
All right, we'll see you.
Okay, love you.
Love you. There we go, Mom. There we go. There goes Mom right there. She's up in Indiana. All righty. Well, I don't have a lot today. I was out at Prince of Peace today substituting, and I did a T-Bones thing. It was the first T-Bones thing I'd done. Of course, for you folks that don't know, I work for a team called the Kansas City T-Bones in Kansas City, Kansas, and Metro KC. And I have not done anything for them. This is a slow time for us usually, but even more so because we didn't play last season. So the guys that we did have were all either drafted for the teams, 6 teams that did play. We got their rights back. It's been slow signing players. We have a lot of rights to guys already. Plus, you throw in the fact it's just a slow time with the pandemic. B, the MLB is acquiring minor league baseball, which I think you may have heard Kevin and I talk about this last week. The MILB teams are contracting as well. Major League Baseball is going to chop off about 40 some odd teams, and a couple of leagues are going away. There's a lot of reshuffling, and so that's going on. And I don't think that there's a lot of guys, especially some people will be out of jobs. Some guys there'll be fewer roster spots, so that's probably part of it too. And there's some changes in the game. There'll be some roster spots available for teams in independent ball, but we're still waiting to see how the minor leagues affiliated ball shapes out. Now we're independent ball, which is great because we control our own destiny, wins and loss wise. But I had done a show in, I guess since the tail end of September when the association finished, and we did a wrap up show, and that's been it. So it's been good over about 2 months almost. All November and most of October. And we usually do about once a month now. I do have a big Christmas special planned for 2 weeks from Kansas City, but that was already in the works for 2 weeks time. But today was some breaking news, and I went ahead and threw some other hot stove stuff in there. So anyway, the long and the short of it was I did a show from high school today, which was good. It actually turned out to be in the lunch break and all worked out good. I had a nice little set with the Christmas tree and some Prince of Peace stuff, pictures behind me. So it didn't look terrible, but good to see you, Tracy, as well. Otherwise, by the way, a lot of you folks, just so you'll know, I left my phone in the room. It's charging. I don't know why I did that. So I may not see your content. I'll see your questions and comments when they come up on my screen here. A lot of times I get a little quicker notice on my phone, but not much. But I'll get some of those. So I get what I don't know is what I do know. I guess I can check and see who's here. I guess I thought I could. Thought it would let me know who was here, but anyway, I guess I can't. So. All right. Well, for some reason, I can know there's people watching, but I can't tell who it is. So all good. Okay. Don't have a lot today. Again, I mentioned that. Bring that volume down just a tad. NFL's playing right now. It's really weird. Wednesday afternoon, it feels a bit like a Saturday in late in the season, maybe. But Pittsburgh and Baltimore playing now. They're Baltimore down to the third quarterback. RG3, who I knew was a backup in the league, and I I knew he had been in Baltimore, but I wasn't 100% sure he was still there until really this morning. And former Baylor quarterback, which, interesting note, Lamar Jackson and RG3 are the only two starting Heisman winners in the same season. There's been teams that have had multiple Heisman winners, but multiple quarterback Heisman winners starting in the same season. They have two in the roster, and they have two starting quarterbacks that are Heisman winners. And they had, I guess Flacco's injured or maybe he's in the protocol as well. But anyway, RG3 was there, and then I got McSorley playing because RG3 pulled a hamstring. So it looks like he is, or quad or something. He's got ice. Looks like he's got ice on his hammy. Looks like, but I saw the play. He pulled up right for half. But anyway, it's fourth quarter, 5 minutes left, and Baltimore trailing in that one. So Cowboys will be playing Baltimore next Wednesday, but don't know who all they're going to have and what have you. So anyway, what do you guys got going on today? And, let me know what you're doing, what's going on. Wednesday's always a little light anyway. I don't have a lot. Mentioned with Mom that I did go out and watch some soccer last night and was really impressed. And I don't know if I've got that. I guess I can share that. I'll brag a little bit on the alma mater. My high school has got a video board, and I knew that. I'd seen it. We were there. The last game I watched live there would have been homecoming 2 years ago. I guess it was there. I just didn't notice, and I'm out there all the time. I'm out, and I was in. I think they're building it or putting it in. They had a really nice school board, a small board. I think they were installing it when I was out there subbing as a PE coach, spring of 19. So they must have put it in for the 19 season anyway. It may have been their 18 season. I can't remember exactly, but anyway, this is what they've got out there. I thought I would just kind of brag a bit because it's kind of cool to see this. And as I'm going to do, hold on, let's see. Come on now. Take a moment to add the image here. But yeah, a video board, which it's nicer than a lot of video boards just about anywhere. I mean, it's what you'd see at a real good minor league park. Let me put this up there for you guys. There it is. And that is the Tom Landry Stadium video board. That if you're TCA and Tracy's out there, that would have been the same location the old school board was. That was the old. Actually, it replaced the old school board's replacement. There was an old school board, then there was a replacement, a big nice school board, a fair play replacement, and this is the Daktronics replacement of that. But it does all the bells and whistles, and it does. This one just ran the score line, and there's the video. But I don't know if I've got to pull this down. Let's see if I can find a better shot of the video. I think I've got wrong one. I'm going to give that to you guys in a second. Yeah, there's a video. There's the actual school board. See, it's pretty good size. Again, pretty cool. Corner of the end zone, but yeah, it's decent size. Watching replays. Of course, they just put the video of the game up, but you've got a decent sized stadium. So very nice. And they also have a running clock in the other end zone as well. That's just a standard generic scoreboard clock. But anyway, I'm going to bring this down here. Yeah, a little different than when we were there. And I was just telling my mom too, we had classes about 85 to 90, I think, around the 80 and 90 mark. I think, Tracy, your class might have been 80, and we might have been 85. I mean, that was our year, but I think it was started in increments and large, because I believe by the time my brother went through 2 years later, they were in the 90s. I think that's right. But now they're in the mid 100s. I mean, they were looking at like 130, 140. I think somewhere in there, in the 130s. I think that's right. For a while, they were around 100 for most of the 90s, and now they're over 100 students per class. But yeah, it is quite a bit different. Yeah, you missed Mom, Kevin. You did. By the way, Kevin, good piece today. Yeah, you just missed Mom. There wasn't a lot, although she was talking soccer, so you didn't miss much. Had a great conversation with the kid. I was talking about you, Kevin, to this guy that Charlie says 42. Is that right? 42 is what you guys had? So it did go up. Okay, it did go up then because we had 80 some odd. I'm pretty sure that's right. My wife would know. She knows all these things. That sounds about right, Charlie. Because you guys would have been 3 years ahead of us. Wait, is that right? 4 years ahead. I was a freshman. You were a senior. It was probably in that 40 to 50 range for that class because I think we might have been 80 then. My wife and I were talking about this the other day. We might have been 80 because I believe my brother, by the time he and Cliff, my brother-in-law, went through 86 and 80. Cliff was 87 because my other brother was 88. I think they were close to 80s, mid 80s then. I think that's right. But yeah. My mom said, Kevin, she liked your article as well. Anyway, yeah, Tracy, it's you recognize parts of it. You recognize the framework of it. For example, 2 weeks ago, I actually was in the library of the middle school, which would have been for us, and Charlie would have been there. I don't know, Charlie, was this built when you were there or not? It may have opened when you were a senior. Where Betty Milton, the librarian, used to be, that library, that was the one that I remember. That's now the middle school library, which was a great library back when we were in high school. Now they've got a much larger library in the new upper school building, which is located going north of that library building, where the old elementary school building is the art wing. They've got a whole new elementary school building, and then across the street from that, so basically 2 streets over from that, on that complex, is the upper school, and that's where the library is. And that building was in existence. We were in school. You never walked those halls. The actual halls that I walked, that I have those ghosts of the 80s, are when I'm in the middle school. And then once in a while I substitute in the middle school. Not a lot, but I have done some middle school. And I did the library that day, which was that was the senior hallway back in the day. And now I believe it's the 8th grade hallway, I think. And then those halls that were the school for us, when you guys were upper school, those are all 6th, 7th, and 8th, I believe, and part of the 8th, because the 8th grade also goes across the way. Then the upper school is over there. Whole new elementary school. The elementary school building, as I mentioned, now is a total art wing. It's got studios and all that. It's kind of cool. But anyway, let's see here. Yeah, I know it was a note to Kevin. I know. Kevin had a great article today. 70s. Okay, that's about right. Because I think it started jumping around that time. That makes sense because it did start jumping around that time. It did. So it was slowly on the rise. We were probably in the high 70s, low 80s. And then I think around the time Cliff, my brother-in-law, and then Sam, I think by the time Chris went through and Cliff, they were in the high 80s. Now they're over 100. They're 100, mid-hundreds. And it's a lot larger place than it was. And there's a lot more of a campus too. So it makes sense. But anyway, yeah, a lot of you folks probably going, what are you guys talking about? Trinity Christian Academy, where we all went to school. Well, I say we all, but Tracy and Charlie and my wife and cast of thousands went. We're talking about anyway. Kevin says, thanks. Once in a while, I get a craft story. Afterwards, do a figurative end zones. Yes, you did. And what he's writing about, you're probably going, what is he writing about? He's writing about, well, that's not good for business because Baltimore scored. So if anybody had the Steelers, they're going to lose that bet. I think I'm okay because I think they're going to go for 2. I think I'll be all right because I had it back when it opened back a week and a half ago. So, but anyway, all good. I think may lose by a point, but who knows? Anyway, you're probably wondering what I'm talking about, point spreads. But yeah, Kevin, what Kevin's talking about is the article he wrote about the St. Paul Saints in St. Paul, Minnesota, are going to become a AAA team of the Minnesota Twins. And there's a lot of mixed emotions. It's very exciting for a lot of folks. Actually, they're going to go for 1. So I guess they figure they'll get the ball back and get a touchdown and win it. Like 2 would have made it. Yeah, it didn't make any difference. Yeah, because 2 would have made it 15. So now you're down 5. Yeah. 5 or 4, you had to score a touchdown anyway. That's what made any difference. So anyway, yeah, but Kevin, Kevin, good stuff. And mixed emotions. I will say this, that as personally has a lot of memories for me in St. Paul, because I can tell you my mom surprised me there. My wife and I had a great weekend there. When she came up, we won, split a series there in 2018, September 11th, 18, when we won game one of the American Association Championship Series. The T-Bones did. We go on to win the series. So that was a memorable time. Joe Capietra, who a dear mate of mine, won his 1,000th game there in St. Paul. And just going there to see Kevin and being up there, and I always enjoyed the Sunday brunch there at the St. Paul Hotel around the corner, and loved there was a good sushi bar around the corner as well. Just enjoyed the whole St. Paul experience, and the Twin Cities, and the Mall of America. Heck, I bought this laptop at Best Buy, the Mall of America, McGraw. So anyway, a lot of memories of St. Paul. Won't be doing that anymore, which but it's good for a lot of the fans, and some of the fans I heard for, and staff members who I know up there. They're going to have a chance to work now for one step below the major leagues. Guys like Sean Aronson will be one step out of the big leagues. That's all good. Anyway, what else you guys got? Anything more exciting? I don't have anything really monumental today. Oops, sorry about that. The wife has a tutoring session in the house. I don't believe she'll be joining us, but oh yeah, I did have this. I meant to tell you guys, I had this for you guys. I'm big into arenas and new venues, and there was a really interesting venue we went to on Sunday. We went to I can find it for you here. We went to Fort Worth. Now, if you don't know Dallas-Fort Worth are separated. The two cities are separated by about 30 some odd miles, and really two different cities, totally different atmospheres. But Fort Worth's a really cool trip, and go over for the day or even spend the weekend over there. And that's where we went on Sunday. Went to a place called Dickies Arena. Dickies Arena, home of Dickies, the clothing company, is in Fort Worth, and they make the work clothes mostly, but they make a lot of clothing. But they're in Fort Worth. Been a big thing for a long time. They built this new arena there opened in 2019. And it's mostly used for the livestock show and rodeo over there, but it's also for concerts and what have you. Of course, a lot of that stuff's gone this year, but it's their new venue over there. They have a Coliseum downtown, but this replaces that, and the old Will Rogers, which is where they played hockey and did the old rodeo. That old barn's still there, but this one replaced that. And the cool thing is, it looks the same on the outside as all the other buildings over there, so it blends in. But they also, and this brand new building, it's not as big as like American Airlines Center in Dallas where the Mavericks and Stars play, but it's big enough, it's big league enough, and it's perfect for the size of town it is. So it's really a cool place. Anyway, just give me a couple pictures of it. Actually, let me start with this. Okay, let me give you this. This is from this is a restaurant that we have actually in both Dallas and Fort Worth called Rodeo Goat, and it's a phenomenal. Let me bring this down. Phenomenal burger. A lot of good burgers. This is our start. We started it with this is a Terlingua, which if you know what a Terlingua is, in Texas, Terlingua chili. If you know the old Chili's recipe from the day, back in the day, Chili's on their menu, the Chili's franchise had the Terlingua Pride, which was the one of their burgers, and the original Chili's. Now it's all been corporate now, but the old Chili's, which was started in Dallas, had the Terlingua Pride, which is based on the Terlingua Chili Cook-Off, which was the world's famous chili cook-off down in Terlingua, Texas, down in the Rio Grande, down in Big Bend area actually. But that's it. Little chili burger right there, and they bring out the ranch and that nice ketchup. There is the one my wife had. I don't know what she had on hers. Look good. There's the fries. This is what they call Texas caviar. You guys ever had this? Texas caviar is black-eyed peas and with some cilantro and pico de gallo and a little spice to it. It's Texas caviar, black-eyed peas. And then we had this is what I want to give you guys too. They have phenomenal, this place Rodeo Goat, phenomenal chips and salsa, but their green salsa and their red salsa, their red may be the best I've had because it was red with a kick, but doesn't fry your mouth, okay? But it's a kick. And it pretty awesome. And then you've got the green, which is really good. Yeah, really good. Let's see here. Let me get have Brandmar looking at the guy that was it the guy how do you say DeGaidios? Yes, yes, that's the place in St. Paul that we meet. That place is awesome with that big Dago sandwich they call it. Is that what they call it? I think that's what they call it. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good stuff. No, it's actually, this is down that, it's not in Sundance in the Stockyards. It's in that 7th Street, that new area by the old Montgomery Ward's building. It's really between downtown Fort Worth and the Will Rogers area. So it's right there. If you were going to draw a line between downtown and Casa Mañana, it's right between those bridges that cross over the Trinity. And it's really a cool area. A lot of really cool restaurants and pubs down there. And this one's one of them. But yeah, they got one in Dallas, but this one is pretty cool too. But those really good beers too. Just a phenomenal place. Anyway, that was where we started. And I love this. This is the sign they put up, and they welded these to the table, my side, your side, to separate folks from sitting on each other's sides, so you don't, don't catch the COVID. So anyway, all right, let's go to the arena. There's us outside the arena. Unfortunately, I don't have a very good shot of the arena, but you can see behind there's those brick, and that basically the building, and it matches the current look there. The wife and I and the lovely youngest there. And there's the inside of the building. Really cool place. Look at that scoreboard. That's big league all the way. One of those rounded scoreboards. What's cool about it, if you look in the middle, I want you guys to see this. In the middle of the scoreboard, see the middle, the bottom of it. If you're sitting underneath the scoreboard, like say down the lower couple rows, the first few rows, you look up, you can't see that scoreboard. But if you, on that video board, if you look up, you look into the board, you can see that reflection underneath it. That actually is there's actually a video board. It's a dual-sided board. So no matter where you're sitting, lower, upper, you're able to look up and see the outside. If you're too low, you look up, you see the inside. Perfect positioning there. There we are. There's the seats. You can see behind my head, there's some tape there. They taped up the seats where you could sit, and all that. So it's all definitely socially distanced. There we are there. This is before the crowd got there. It did wind up being about, I believe they had around 5,000, I believe, there, and but I think it was more like high threes in a building that seats about 12. I think it's about right. There I am with the beer at Dickies Arena, and there you see the arena with more people in it. That's what the teams warmed up on the floor, and there you go. So there is the little shots of Dickies Arena there in Fort Worth. And that is pretty much all I got today. Okay, so I didn't wow you with a lot. Friday we come back with our beer review. Now we did go over there. I had a really good conversation with the server and the bartender server. She was our waitress and bartender there where we were sitting, and about Martin Brewery and about the brew pubs over in Fort Worth. I didn't realize how big. I've been showing you some of the cool flavored beers. We tried another beer too. My wife and I will talk about it on Friday. I don't have one, but I may try to find one for you on Friday. But we'll bring you a beer test on Friday, a beer review on Friday, and we'll give you an updated scoreboard of how it all looks with that as well. So that'll be coming up tomorrow. If you're so inclined, on Talking Baseball Australia, you can see myself and Paul Morgan will come your way. An exciting concept. Now tomorrow, we've got a guy named Nate Gherkin on. He's out of California. But he's actually in Australia. And if you've heard me talk about this a little bit, and you may know this, if you want to travel to Australia now, first off, if you can pass muster and get on the list to go, and you want to pay the price to go, which I've seen 21,000 for some seats as well. The average right now is about 4,000 round trip, and that's coach. It's kind of doing this because basically what they're doing is they've capped the number of seats. I believe there's only 3,000 folks allowed in the country a week, and that includes all the flights in, and that's in all the cities. That includes Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, which all have international flights. Darwin also has international flights. So they're all capped. So some of these flights are flying with just, that whole 300 people, 200 people are flying with 50 folks. So you can see that they're trying to make their money, and cargo is part of it, but trying to make some money on the commercial side too. And obviously you're flying commercial flights, but you're not being able to use the entire thing you can't put freight in where the passengers sit. Does That makes sense. So anyway, so that's one of the reasons expensive. Well, long and the short of it is, like ramble on here. This player, he's a right-handed pitcher. He's out of California. He is actually in the hotel quarantine for 14 days. He comes out on the 6th, which is on Sunday over there. So he'll be on his final 2 days in the hotel before he comes out, and he will have been with 14 days over there. He and another teammate are actually just, I think, not sharing a room, but they're on the same hallway. And they're actually staying, Mom, in that Sheraton 4 Points where you stayed when you were in Perth. One of your hotels in Perth when you were there. So anyway, we're going to have him live on the show tomorrow to talk about what it's been like to be captive in the hotel. And it's probably not very interesting to most Americans, but I think the Australians will be interested. But you guys may be interested in see, because they're delivering their meals 3 times a day. They're not allowed to be outside. I mean, they're not allowed to go meet other, they can't leave. It's basically a house arrest thing for 14 days in a hotel. Sounds like fun, but we're going to find out about that. So we'll have him on tomorrow, and then Paul and I will do our normal weekly conversation about the international game and just look what we do. He's the best in the business, and he drags me along for the ride. And I appreciate that opportunity. Okay. Again, that'll be tomorrow. That's going to be 5 o'clock Central for us in North America. For you folks in Australia, that'll be 7 a.m. in the West, 10 a.m. in the eastern part of the country. In New Zealand, it'll be lunchtime in the island. Okay. All right. That'll be Friday. And then that's Thursday, Friday over there. And then Friday over here in North America, 5 o'clock beer review. Promise you a good one. And we'll catch up for the week that was and preview the weekend. And who knows what else my wife and I will come up with. And of course, maybe we'll revisit hopefully Monday's show where we any follow up on the whole police discovery we made, and our own little sleuthing as the couple that is now. Our new theme is a couple that detectives together stays together. Okay. Much love. Love you guys. Love every one of y'all, and I miss y'all. It was great to see the folks of the T-Bones Today channel. That was awesome. Always good to see you guys stop by for 5 minutes, all night or whatever. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's keep loving. Let's keep being strong. Let's fight on. Wear those masks, but hey, don't freak out. Let's do the best we can do. Let's be kind to others, and most of all, we keep loving and fight on. We're going to be okay. Don't chastise others. Let's just all do the best we can do. Okay, let's all love and show some empathy. And again, wear your mask. That's all you got to do. And if you want to go out and do your thing, wash your hands, do it. All right, let's all keep fighting on. Much love to you guys. We will see y'all on Friday. Okay, time for dinner and time for a happy Wednesday night. Love y'all. See y'all then.